Hi, welcome to this second session of yoga. Today the session might be a bit shorter. Just to remind you, I'm at home. Usually I'm alone, so there shouldn't be noise, but the bell could ring and I have a mic that usually doesn't take that kind of noises, but just for you to know that this could happen. In that case, I won't attend, and again, I hope they don't insist. Again, they are doing works at the facade still, so if you hear noise, it might be from that. Otherwise, usually it's a quiet place. Just want to remind you that you can practice with your camera on or off. You're practicing online. And also that if you suddenly are practicing and notice that you haven't eaten for many hours and you're starving or you have thirst or you need to go to the bathroom, please attend your needs, okay? I will use options during the class, and just a reminder that the options are not a hierarchy, so there's not higher or lower. They are placed so that you can choose whatever is better for you at every moment, and you can always change. You don't have to stick to one, or you can try. If you don't know what option to take, you can try one and then the other, or if you still are not sure, you can always do the option I do if you want, okay? For this session, again, we're gonna need a blanket, or it could be also a pillow, a chair, which could be with a back seat or not, and a mat. Okay, I'm gonna move to the practice phase. When you're ready, you can come too. So, first thing we're gonna do is to reconnect with my space. And you can do that by just looking quietly from one spot and noticing the different textures in your space. There are softer texture, more slidey, more rugosity. And you can do this, as I mentioned, in a quiet space, or you can move around. You can perhaps move around and see your space moving around. Or if you feel you have a lot of energy, you can bounce a bit. Yeah, if you feel like you're coming from something that is, has a lot of energy still on you, perhaps you would like to bounce a bit as you are perceiving different textures that even might have different temperatures or not, or different weights. I'm going to shake a bit today, bounce a bit, because I feel that's what I need. And you can stay as long as you need, noticing the different textures and weights in your space, or whenever you're ready, you can sit on the chair and you can use the hands on your thighs or at the seat to sit on the chair. And once more, you can place the feet on the blanket if that's what you feel you need today, or you can place the feet directly on the floor. I'm going to place today my feet directly on the floor. You can choose to sit with your back supported at the seat. See if your seat has that. If not, you could always perhaps bring the chair closer to a wall if that's what you need, if you need your back supported. And again, finding a central position that you can come back to anytime you need. And it can be with your hands on the thighs today. It can be with one hand on top of the other in front of the abdomen, or it can be with one hand on top of the other at your chest. And just taking a moment, I remind you with the hands at the thighs, one hand on top of the other in front of the abdomen or at the chest. Taking a moment to observe if there is any sensation at your feet now or not. You're able to feel the surface underneath your feet or not, the temperature or not. No. And the next proposal is going to be to bring one leg up and down. So you can take the back of the leg and bring one leg up and down. And then the other, you could only do one leg if you prefer. And you can choose to do this movement bigger or perhaps you want to do it smaller. You can also choose the speed. You want to do it faster, or slower, bigger, sorry. I meant before bigger or smaller. And when you choose the sides of the movement, you can also choose to do it only with the leg or to go with the whole body, closing as you bring the leg up, opening as you bring it down. Like if you would be doing a cat and cow pose here. And just observing how your body moves, if you feel more the sensation at the leg or at the back. You can always shift to do it smaller or bigger, faster or slower. If you're doing it only with one leg, perhaps that's a good moment to change if that's what you want, or you can continue only with one leg. You can stay as long as you need, or you can also stay in one of the positions. And if you need to change leg, you can also change if you're in the positions, if you're doing the movement. You can stay observing still the sensations, the arms as they carry the leg. If you are in a more quiet, with the leg up or down, perhaps observing the sensations in the body and also observing if there is any specific part of the body that moves as you breathe or not at all. If you are doing the movement, perhaps you want to keep your breath natural, or perhaps you want to coordinate with the breath, exhaling as you bring the knee up, inhaling as you bring the knee down. You can stay as long as you need. You can leave whenever you want, and you can leave with me in 3, 2, 1. And coming back to the central pose, which I remind you can be with the hands on the thighs, one hand on top of each other in front of the abdomen, or both hands at the chest. And it can be a different option than before. And just noticing if there is any sensation in the body, in the back, shoulders, legs, feet, or any part of the body I haven't mentioned, or if there is no sensation at all. Good. For the next thing, we're gonna go into a side movement. For this, you can open the legs a little bit, or you can open your legs a bit more. Yeah? So you can choose how apart your legs want to be. Yeah? And you can go and place one arm in your leg and the other hand at the hip, or you can bring one arm next to the ear. So I remind you, the options are with the feet a bit apart or wider apart. You can choose the length apart, and you can have one hand at the hip or next to the ear. And you can stay here. Perhaps you think, oh, I need movement still. I come from whatever. And I feel I need to burn a bit of energy and I need movement. In that case, you can always go up and down, whether with the hand at the hip or with the arm next to the ear. And wherever you are, perhaps observing if there is any specific sensation in the body, shoulders, side of the body, hips, or not. If you're staying in a quiet position, also notice if any part of the body moves as you breathe or not. Again, stay as long as you need. Leave when you want. Or leave with me in 3, 2, 1. And we're gonna go back to that center. I remind you, hands at the thighs, one hand on top of each other in front of the abdomen, or the hands at the chest. And here noticing if there is any sensation, the back, side of the body, perhaps not. Perhaps there's no specific sensation. Or perhaps if you notice the movement of your breath, perhaps not. When you are ready, you can either prepare to do the other side or you can do the same side. I'll do the other side. I remind you, you can have the feet just a bit apart or you can have them wider apart. And moving into a side, you can place one arm on the thigh and you can place the other hand on the hip or the arm next to the ear. And you can stay. You can always change if you get tired or you feel you need a bit more extension. You can change the position, so it's not a fixed option. Or again, perhaps you feel you need to move and you can always go up and down, which I remind you, the options are with the arm next to the ear or with the hand at the hip. I'm going to stay quiet in this side. And wherever you are, noticing if there is any sensation in one side of the body or both sides of the body, the shoulders, the back. If you're in movement, noticing if you're coordinating the movement with your breath, or perhaps you want to breathe naturally. If you're coordinating, perhaps as you come up inhaling, and as you go to the side exhaling. You can stay as long as you need, leave when you want, or leave in 3, 2, 1, coming back to the center. Hands at the thighs, one hand on top of the other, or hands at the chest, whatever option feels best for you at this moment. And here observing if there is any sensation or not at all. And we're gonna move now into a twist. And we're gonna go ourselves profile. And you can do this either in one step, or you can go in several steps if you prefer, until you find your profile. And you can keep your feet closer to each other or a bit more apart. And you can bring one hand to the hip and then come back. And you can follow that movement with your sides, in which case perhaps it may be a good opportunity to reconnect with your space, the textures, the weight in your space. Or perhaps not, perhaps you prefer to look just in front. You can also allow the breath to follow its natural rhythm, or perhaps you want to coordinate, inhaling as you go back, exhaling as you come to the center. And you can also choose to stay in the twist. Wherever you are, observing the sensations. You can stop whenever you feel it's for you. You can stop whenever you want, or stop in 3, 2, 1. Coming back to the center, we're going to go directly to the other side, but you can also repeat this side if you prefer. I'm going to repeat this side today because I feel I need a bit more work in this side. But if you need to go to the other side, you can do it in a couple of steps, or you can do it in more steps. Yeah, if you feel that's better for you. I'm going to stay in the first side. You can keep your feet more open or more closed. And then bring in one hand to the hip, the other hand on the same. And you can choose to follow the movement with your side, with your eyes. And perhaps if you're doing the other side, you're rediscovering another part of your space as you do that. Or perhaps not, perhaps you just want to look forward as you do this movement. I'm doing a double twist, one forward and one back. And you can allow the breath to go natural, or perhaps you want to coordinate with the breath, inhaling as you go back, exhaling as you go forward. Or perhaps you want to stay in the twist. You can stay where you are, leave whenever you want, or leave with me in 3, 2, 1. Coming back, and coming back in one step or several steps through the central position, feet more open or more close to each other, hands at the thighs, one hand on top of the other, or hands at the chest. Just noticing if there is any sensation in the body, shoulders, back, chest, or any area of the body that I haven't mentioned. Or perhaps you don't notice any sensation, specific sensation, just noticing. And also perhaps noticing your breath. If you don't want to notice the breath, you focus on the sensations in the body. If you focus on your breath, just noticing the rhythm of your breath and the parts of the body that move with it. Good. We're gonna go up now. You can go up with your hands at the thighs, or you can go up with the arms next to the ears. And we're gonna go up and we're gonna stay for a moment in the chair pose. So kind of sitting, but sitting in the air without chair. So I remind you that the options to go into that chair position are with the hands at the thighs or arms next to the ears. So when you're ready, just standing a bit, your buttocks from the chair, but staying in the position. And you can look forward or you can look between the hands. You can stay as long as you need, leave whenever you want, or leave in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can release your arms from the front or from the sides. If you feel you need to do any shaking or any movement, you can do so. And we're going to move to the side of the chair, and you can do that first looking at the chair or even placing a hand on the chair and then move to the side of the chair, or you can just walk and go to the side of the chair. Yeah. We're going to do one standing position. So you can bring the arms next to the ears, or you can have the hands at the back of your head. And so I remind you, with the hands, arms next to the ears or the hands at the back of the head, we're gonna go up and down, and you can have your knees bent or you can have your knees stretched. And whether you are with the hands at the back of the head or the arms up, noticing if you want to do the movement smaller or bigger, if you want to do it faster or slower. And again, you can choose the speed at every movement. Every movement can change of speed if you feel that's what you need. You can continue with movement or you can stay down if that's what you need. You can leave whenever you want, stop the movement whenever you want, stay as long as you need, or come back with me on the count of 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you have the arms up, either hands at the back or next to the ears, you can drop them from the front or from the sides. Coming back to neutral position, just noticing if there is any sensation at the shoulders, at the back, at the chest. And perhaps you want to allow the breath to stay natural. Or perhaps you want to inhale through the mouth, through the nose, and exhale like a through the mouth, yeah, like a little whisper through the mouth. You can stay as long as you need on that, or you can do it 2 more times. And then staying here, you can stay with the hands at the thighs or with the hands at the chest. Just for one last moment. Or you can stay observing if you notice any movement of your body as you breathe. Is any part of the body that moves as you breathe? And perhaps you want to add a little phrase that says, I can take care of myself. I know how to take care of myself. I am taking care of myself. Or any other phrase that works for you. I remind you, the ones I propose is, I can take care of myself. I know how to take care of myself. I am taking care of myself. Whenever you're ready, thank you.